Good morning friends, today it's 27th of Jan 2025 and we are entering into the last week of this month. It's in fact a monthly expiry week, and since start of this series we have been saying that the bias remains range to down and that's the pullback should be looked to reduce the leverage long bets as the structure and other parameters are not that friendly. Lower lows are expected and we were expecting lower levels in days and weeks to come. So in line with more or less a view, the index has been drifting down and lower highs and lower lows are in forming. So the index has even failed to surpass any of its immediate interim resistance mark, and last week it ended in red, down 0.6%. This month it's almost down 3% back on back since start of the correction which we have witnessed from October highs. So overall the bias remains range to down unless and until we see any kind of reversal signals on the charts, and the immediate resistance zone for Nifty 50 spot will be 23,850 24,000 zone, below which on all three different time frames the bias remains range to down, while immediate support as mentioned earlier remains at 23,000 22,750 zone, slipping and sustaining, below which a fresh round of selling pressure cannot be ruled out, and in that scenario the index will be expected to retest the lows of 21,800 22,000 mark. So net the outlook remains same, that be light with leverage long positions, be hedged, and slipping below 23,000 22,800 mark. Fresh round of selling pressure cannot be ruled out in days to come. For this week as a whole, 22,800 and 23,600, this can be looked as a silver line between bulls and bears. Some kind of short covering will be expected only once Nifty sustains above 23,600 Nifty spot levels, while as mentioned trading below 22,800 mark, fresh round of selling pressure cannot be ruled out. For the day today, potential range can be 22,800 and 23,300 mark. Intraday dips towards 22,800 22,620 Nifty futures can be looked for buying, keeping a stop of 50 odd points, while pullback towards 23,280 and 23,390 can be looked as a selling opportunities, keeping a stop of 50 odd points. As per the monthly OI data, we can see that 24,000 has a maximum call build-up and 23,000 strike price has a maximum put build-up, indicating 23,000 is very vital for this series and even for the next few weeks to come, trading below which the bias will remain range to pressure. If we talk about Bank Nifty is underperforming Nifty 50 and it is almost down 5.6% this month as a whole. Even last week it was down 0.64%. Earlier we have mentioned that 48,000 can act as immediate support for a pullback. We have seen a pullback from 48,000 odd levels towards the highs of 49,800, which failed to sustain, and finally it slipped down last week too, and the week at its lows. So going forward, 48,000 will remain an important level, below which fresh round of selling pressure can test the index towards 46,500 and even lower levels, while the pullback is expected to find resistance between a zone of 50,000 50,500. So unless and until this zone is being held on a weekly time frame, the bias will remain range to down and look to reduce your leverage positions on pullbacks rather than adding fresh. So initially for this week, once again the bias will remain range to pressure below 50,500 mark, with important support at 47,250 now, followed by lower levels. Intraday trading range can be 47,400 and 49,800 mark. Buy on dip towards 49,700 47,900 and 47,500 can be looked for, with a strict stop loss of 100 odd points, while pullback towards 48,900 and 49,290 can be looked for selling, keeping a stop of 100 odd points. So net the bias remains range to down. Even if we talk about monthly OI data for Bank Nifty, it has a maximum call build up at around 50,000 call strike, and 47,500 put has the maximum immediate strike build up on the lower end. So the broad range can be 47,500 and 50,000 mark with a range to down outlook. For this week as a whole, as mentioned, trading below 50,500, the bias remains range to down with the supports at around 47,200 and followed by lower levels. So net we can see that majorly the broader market is under immense pressure, and unless and until we find any kind of reversal signals on a weekly time frame, pullbacks should be looked to reduce leverage long bets. Thank you.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.